very controversial topic. And with yesterday kicking off the start to another season, it also kicks off the start of the so-called anti-hunting season. This puts hunters and anti-hunters on edge, and confrontations between the groups often turn ugly. There's a ton of conflict on this topic, and both sides are always looking for a chance to show the other side that they are wrong. With all the info that is thrown around, it becomes extremely easy for individuals that are neutral to start believing in some of the false stereotypes that are presented to them. Today, I will be covering some of the more common negative stereotypes that are often associated with hunters. Let's start with the first misconception. The most popular myth about hunting is that it is a cruel and inhumane sport. Organizations like PETA are always jumping at the chance to paint hunters in a bad light. In an article written on November 4th of this year titled, 9 Things No One Told You About Hunting, the author claimed that hunters simply kill for trophies and wound more animals than they harvest. The author also went on to attack government agencies, saying that are responsible for wildlife management and conservation, saying, wildlife departments call out predators so that hunters will have an excess of animals to gun down. These statements couldn't be farther from the truth. The vast majority of hunters do not hunt for trophies. They hunt as a way to gather fresh meat that is healthier than meat harvested from farm-raised animals. And the only time the wildlife departments cull predators is when they become overpopulated and start causing problems with humans. They do not cull predators so hunters will have more animals to shoot at. And the statement about hunters wounding more animals than they kill is also dead wrong. Hunters take pride in making sure that we make ethical shots on game that ensure a quick, clean death. In fact, all hunters spent an entire day in hunter safety learning the vital areas of the animals that they intend to hunt. This instruction ensures that a hunter is absolutely sure that he is taking an ethical shot while in the field. This leads me to the second stereotype I often hear about hunting, and that is that hunting is bad for the environment. This statement has been proven false many times over the course of the last century. In fact, hunters are responsible for most of the money that is used for wildlife management and conservation programs. In order to hunt, we have to pay for licenses, stamps, and tags, and according to the Wildlife and Sport Fish Restoration Program, hunting licenses and game tags brought in $896,489,571 in 2019 alone. This money goes right back into wildlife management programs that help protect and manage the animals we hunt. It also goes back into managing and protecting the areas that we hunt in. A great local example of this is the Cheney Wildlife Area. This is a 9,500-acre plot of land just south of here that is managed using the money gathered from hunters and park passes. They use that money to manage the fields, prairies, and forests that surround the area. So now that we know what hunting does for the environment, how does it affect the animals themselves? Hunting plays a vital role in managing healthy wildlife populations. Wildlife biologists set specific bag limits that help prevent overpopulation. This is a major problem because species that are overpopulated end up destroying their environment and starve off after there's nothing left to eat. Overpopulation also leads to more human-animal interactions, like car accidents. This is caused by the overcrowding, and it forces animals to venture further and further into human-populated areas. One major crisis that proves hunting is an effective conservation practice was the crisis in the Khabib Plateau in Arizona. This was a crisis that started when wildlife managers were worried about local mule deer populations. And as a response, they banned all hunting in the area and destroyed all the predators in an attempt to boost the populations. This led to a severe overpopulation of deer, which led to habitat destruction and mass starvation. They reopened hunting in 1929 as the last-ditch effort, and it brought deer populations back into balance with the habitat in under 5 years. So the last stereotype that I want to address is that hunting is not a sport for everyone. The hunting community is a small one indeed. In fact, only 9% of the total U.S. population partakes in hunting activities yearly. And most people tend to think that hunting is only for older men, but this is simply not the case. Female participation percentage has increased by 16% in the last few years and is projected to continue growing at an exponential rate. The sport of hunting is also rapidly expanding to encompass all age groups. The percentage of young hunters in the field has increased by 19% in the last 2 years. This is a good thing, which has been driven by more social media presence on the sport. And if numbers continue to climb in both categories at their respective rates, then hunting will soon become as diverse as any other sport in the world. So now that some of the main misconceptions about hunting have been cleared up, I hope that I've been able to shed a little light on the ethics of most hunters and debunk some of the main myths that make their way around. So the next time you hear someone stereotyping the sport of hunting, I challenge you to see if you can use the facts that I presented you today to try and change their mind. Thanks.